Hello, welcome to the live for Cancer season. Well, Cancer new moon, and I just finished listening to my Cancer season affirmations. So if you haven't listened to those, please do. If you're joining me here on the live, go ahead and drop in the comments where you're coming in from. I would love to welcome you. And if you are here on the replay, still drop where you're coming in from on the comments. Still want to welcome you too. So anything I say for people to do live, do it still on the replay. Any comments, I love to answer them. So I don't know about you, but let's get started. With Cancer, this is about intuition, renewal. I have my notes, and inner softness. Like, these things are huge. Hello, Yamil. Hello, Sigrid. So good to see you both here. Hello, Jinx. So we got Sigrid coming in from DC. I hope you're feeling safe there. And Jinx coming in from Texas. I'm assuming it is hot as heck. And yeah, I'm so excited to see all of you here for Cancer season. Well, the Cancer new moon. There's a lot that's coming in over this new moon. And it started coming in during the solstice. So we had like this shadow period that happens before and after the solstice. And so we're in that like afterglow of solstice, so to speak. And it's like trying to pull out the nurturing and the love for everyone. Hello, Joya. Woo! Portland. I hope it is cool there today. I always think of Portland and that it's cool. Hello, Edward and Sticky Heels. Happy birthday, Sticky Heels. I'm glad that you're spending your birthday time with me today. Woo! Yes, sunny and super hot in Puerto Rico. Ah! All right. I am so happy to be here with you guys. But I want you to really deepen into your intuition. So much is happening right now in the world. Like, craziness is going on. Hello, Luke. And what came in is softness. What came in is intuition. What came in is nurturing. And a lot of that has to do with this Cancer season. And a lot more of it has to do with the world is being remade. We are remaking this world. And the only way that happens is for us to make changes, right? We've got to make changes in what we're doing and how we engage with others. So the self and others. And that ripples out to the rest of the world. That's how you make long lasting, sustainable changes, right? So I want to go ahead and pull now for the collective. I have several decks here. You know I'm going to ask for you guys if you have questions at the end. So if you remember something now and you're afraid you won't remember it later, please go ahead and put that into the chat, right? I want to go ahead and help you get all of this done. All right. The first deck, I have so many decks. The first deck I was drawn to is this universal love deck today, right? The Cancer is kind of the mom of the zodiac. Moms can be firm, but moms also are typically loving, right? These are all broad strokes, and try to figure out how to keep the peace when things are going crazy. They become like a point, an anchor, and a sense of belonging and nourishment. And that's what's going on right now, right? That we have to have that sense of belonging with each other and the nourishment of a mom, right? Not all moms are safe. I'm going to say that right now. Not all moms are safe moms. All right, I got a couple of cards. I meant to only pull one, but I got two cards that came out. I love this. Birth. We are definitely birthing something new here, are we not? Like, this solstice activated so many things. There were so many downloads coming in, light codes coming in. It's been tumultuous, to say the least. because something new is birthing in. And I got the eternal flame, right? This is something, the hope, the love never burns out. It can, we talk about hiding your light under a bushel. Like, I'm just going to be honest, my faith background is Judeo-Christian. And so I'll make a lot of biblical references. Though that's not necessarily my faith walk now, right? But hiding your light is something, no matter your faith walk, that gets done, right? But we all have this eternal flame. It's time. We don't need to hide our light anymore. We need to let it shine pretty freaking brightly, because it's that bright light. It's when something comes out into the light, it gets sanitized. It gets witnessed and sanitized. That's what light does, right? That's why we can use ultraviolet light on water to kill bacteria that will make us ill, right? Light does a lot to sanitize things. And bringing it out in the light, having that eternal flame, our own eternal flame shining so brightly, not only does it draw people in, it helps not only us, but them to rid things out of their aura, out of their, like, this bubble. I'm trying to think of how to describe it. The bubble that surrounds all of us, our energetic bubble. And we pull in a lot of things into our energetic bubble, walking around in the day, right? Did you go outside at all? You pulled something into your bubble that isn't yours. Did you actually talk to people? You pulled in some of their energy into your bubble as well. And our flame, our eternal flame, can help cleanse these things out of the bubble, our bubble, right? We can also bring in light, divine light, into our bubble to help cleanse these things out of our bubble. I'm not going to go into a whole cleansing routine right now, but keeping your energy, your bubble, as cleaned up as possible is important, because when you do, it allows your flame, your eternal flame, to shine brighter, right? And that brightness alerts other people to where it allows them to wake up and be with us, right? Right? Oh, secret, yes, the sanitizing power of light, baby. Yeah, it shows us what's there, but it also sanitizes. To me, that's why light in itself is so incredible, right? So incredible. I'm going to go ahead and I want to pull for kind of individually right now. This is just our normal pull that we're going to do, where I don't know how many cards are going to come out, but I know it's going to be at least 3, right? So go ahead and pick a number between 1 and 3. Pick a number between 1 and 3, drop it into the comments. Let's see what else is coming up. So our collective is birth and eternal flame. Drop your number between 1 and 3, and let's see what's coming up specifically for you. Let's see here. 1, 2, and 3. All right. You can pick more than 1 if you want to. That's cool with me. Okay, so 1, 2, and 3. Card number 1, which no one picked, that's here live right now, that dropped in there. I love this. So card number 1 is Taurus. I have, but if you're in a numerology, it's card 14 of the deck. Taurus I have. I love Taurus because Taurus is, yes, hard work, but a lot about comfort. Comfort is huge with Taurus. So look where Taurus is in your natal chart. That'll tell you more about what's activating right now, from the new moon in Cancer over to the full moon. So if you pick card number 1, check out Taurus. But in general, look at where you can make yourself more comfortable. I'm not saying to work harder, because we are talking about Cancer season. look where you can make yourself feel cozy, comfortable, luxurious wherever you are, right? Sometimes, I mean, it's hot as heck here, but still, I throw on a fan and full blast, and I will cuddle up with a blanket if I need to. That's cozy, right? That's a cozy luxury that most of us have access to. What is your cozy luxury? Right? That's why I'm asking you with this Taurus. What is your cozy luxury? Right? And it's usually something that is tactile. That's why I said a blanket. But maybe a cozy luxury is some kind of food, some clothes. I don't know. So if you pick number one, look at your cozy luxury and look where Taurus lands in your natal chart. Card number two, 12th house, escape. 12th house, escape. You're in a numerologist, card number 36, which can go down to an 9. Right? So this is about escape. The 12th house of the zodiac. So you're going to want to see what sign is governing your 12th house. But the 12th sign of the zodiac in general is like between two worlds. That's the best way I can describe it. You're literally between two worlds. In the moment between death and rebirth, that kind of more liminal space is represented in the 12th house. Some people think of the 12th house as faith. A lot of people with their sun in the 12th house have a hard time grounding themselves to this world and do a lot to escape what's going on in this 3D, right? So it doesn't surprise me. It says 12th house escape. So think of ways where you try to escape responsibility, escape from maybe nonsense, and that's a nice general term, nonsense going on around you. What methods are you using to escape this reality? Are they the methods that are good? Or do you really need to do more of a physical escape, like escape the situation you're in now and go make a new situation? Right? That's going to really hit for someone I watching now or watching the replay. Like if you got this, it might be time to make your escape. Right? So, more about that. You better like book a cosmic consultation with me because there's stuff going on. All right, card number 3. And again, if you have more questions after I picked your card, please let me know in the comments and I will go further with it. You can let me know how the card landed. And know there's a little bit of something for everybody, no matter which card you picked in each card. Right? So card number 3. Now you pick 3. It can be 3. It gets just a matter of what's supposed to put. Yes. Okay. All can apply. Yes. Okay. Card number 3 is Uranus, genius. Genius. You're in numerology, card number 9 of the deck. So definitely, like I said before, look where Uranus is in your chart, in your natal chart. And I love that. There's a couple of things I love about this card. It is genius. Like, what is your genius? How are you playing up your genius? And I don't know about you, but like I initially pulled this card, all I could see on this card was a rainbow. There's no rainbow on this card. I just looked again. But it's like, what I got is relief. Relief. This card is about relief. Yes, it says genius. And maybe when you're in your genius, you are relieved. It's like you can breathe again. You can just relax and soften your shoulders. Your shoulders aren't up here. There's no tense. There's just relief and release. Right? That's why I'm seeing in card number 3, relief and release, because you're in your genius. And I guess this is, oh, you saw the rainbow too. It's in the middle of the card. It is kind of like a lens flare there, but I swore I saw like a rainbow over here, and it's just like the sun behind a planet. But yeah, the rainbow is a true thing in this card. There's a lot of mystic aspects even as I continue to look in the card. But the thing about your genius, right? You being in your zone of genius, what you were actually called here to do, what you're actually here to share. You saw the rainbow too. Oh my gosh. Okay. What you're actually called here to share, your genius. That's what I'm seeing in this card. And when you actually are playing in your zone of genius, it's liberating. I talked a lot about liberation during my Juneteenth live stream, right? But this just feels like liberation. It feels like freedom. If you're not sure what your zone of genius is, we can, go into that maybe a little bit here. Maybe that would be a cosmic consultation for sure. That link should be somewhere in the chat. Not in the chat, rather in the description. Should be somewhere in the description. But most people, okay, I've been doing this for a long time. I've been in corporate. I've worked for myself for it feels like ever. Coaching forever. Most people fuss about in their zone of excellence. That's not their zone of genius, right? It's totally different. We have a zone of what I would say incompetence, like things we're just obviously not good at, right? I'm obviously not good at, like someone out, they're not here right now. I'm very fortunate they left before the live stream started. But there's guys who are digging a ditch to put in a French drain right outside the windows, right? And that is not my zone of genius or competence. It is definitely my zone of incompetence. If you told me to go out there and dig a ditch, it might take me weeks. It'll probably take them 1 day or two, right? They're conditioned for it. They understand what to do. They know what to do when they run into problems. Because I have dug a ditch before. When our sewer line went out at our old house, I was like, my husband's doing it. I was doing it. It's not pretty. Definitely my zone of incompetence. Your zone of competence is things you can do. You're not great at it. You're not bad at it, but there's stuff you can do. Your zone of excellence, stuff you're actually really good at. And you typically get paid well for it too. And you're so good at it, but you are burned out by it. That's how you know it's not your zone of genius. If it drains you rather than feeds you, not your zone of genius. That's your zone of excellence, right? We don't need to be playing around our zone of excellence. That's not what we're called here to do. It's what we can do for a time, sure, but it's not what we're called here to do. When you really step into that zone of genius and you relax into it, when you let it hold you, there is that gold at the end of the rainbow, right? You can just go out there and do what you were called to do. So important. So if you got card number 3, I know I kind of went, a lot of you drew decide on card number 3, but think about this really hard. Are you playing in your zone of genius? Are you hanging out in excellence? Right? Look where Uranus is on your chart. There's going to be some other messages for you there between house and who's governing that house. Like check all that out in your natal chart. If you don't know how to do that, again, you can ask and I can get you going in the right direction. But yeah, that was a huge one. So let me know how that's landing for you. No matter which card you picked, 1, 2, or 3, let me know how that's landing, because that was a lot. And then also start popping in your questions, right? I want to start answering your questions and pulling for that, because we got the time, people. You're honestly not sure. Okay, Jinx, I'll go with honestly not sure. It's a lot to realize, am I playing my zone of genius, and allowing yourself to be supported by your zone of genius. Like, without question, with the relief, with the trust, with the conviction of being supported, right? In that zone of genius. I saw something, it was an ad, I think, on YouTube. And I thought, this is, to me, like a good idea and a scary idea at the same time. You're busy, you don't have time to take your kids to school or pick them up from school, but you don't want them riding the bus or whatever. And there's a special service to do that for you. I'll pick up your kids from school or take them to school in the morning. And I'm assuming they're doing copious background checks on these folks. You know what I'm saying? But it's, for someone, that's how they feel of service. Like, it's a genius idea. Like I said, scary. It makes me, I feel all sorts of ways. But it's like, yeah, that's someone operating in their zone of genius where they can be helpful and be part of the community in a way that is of service, right? And then also to be supported by that. That's amazing. So Secret says, yeah, 2 and 3 are definitely where I am. I need to get out of the place I'm in because, you're not living your zone of genius. So important. Okay, Joy, a personal question. What do I most need to keep in mind about terminating the lease? Oh my goodness. I have these cards that I know I need to pull for the collective. I'm going to pull a couple from here, and then Joy, I'm going to come back and answer your question. And Secret, when you talk about operating, not living your zone of genius, how do you feel you're not living your zone of genius? And then I'm going to pull for you as well. So if anyone else has a question, know that I will pull for you. I'm going to do 3 more cards for the collective. I'm thinking it's 3 more cards. We're going to find out here in about a second. But I think it's 3 more cards for the collective. So I'm going to pull here. All right. So pulling 3 more cards for the collective. We've got the Devil reversed, ready to throw off the chains, which is good because why? I'm glad we're throwing off chains because what are we doing? We're birthing something new. That's why everything feels so crazy and chaotic. All right. The second card was, this is the second card. 6 of Cups, right? The past. Was it that we need to release from the past, right? So we can move forward, right? What do we need to release? And then we got the Chariot reversed. That's a lot of reversals, right? If we don't release the past, this is about progress. We won't make progress, right? If we get stuck, right? We realize there's something wrong and we're throwing off change because we're trying to birth something new. But if we get stuck in the past, right, we're not going to make the progress that we need to make. Right? We don't make progress by sticking ourselves in the past. That's actually not how progress happens. Right? That's how we revert back to the 1800s or something. Right? We need to move forward, right? Because as a collective, each of us is birthing something new with our eternal flame, with sharing our light, right? So let's get to question answering. All right, so Secret, I'm not living my zone of genius because I'm completely drained by the work I do. Okay, so this has to do with work. Stop being fulfilling. I feel oppressed and undervalued. Yeah. Oh my goodness. I saw the most amazing short. I think my mother sent it to me. And it talked about just the different places, how things are valued. And again, if you're not in a place that values you and your contribution, that is a huge sign that you need to be somewhere else. And there's somewhere else for you, because there's always a place where people are actually going to see your value and understand what you're bringing to the table, right? And what's so odd, and I say this being in corporate for years, right, is usually they don't understand the value of a person until that person leaves, right? They don't get it till the person leaves. And they're like, oh, we really needed them. They were doing this, this, and that. Yeah, they were. But, I always say, don't go back. If they can't figure out your value, don't go back. There's always somewhere else that's going to get your value. All right. So Secret, I pulled Samaritan. Samaritan. The light attribute is refines your capacity to help those you would prefer to ignore. Shadow attribute is exacting appreciation, recognition for the help you offer. So the Samaritan is like, go and help people who actually need the help, and don't think you need anything for it, right? Rather than like going in and helping, saying either you praise me publicly, right, or you pay me or something, right? That's the difference there. So right now I pulled that archetype card. It's how can I embody the Samaritan more? I find a lot of times when I do go out on a limb and I help people, I don't need praise. I don't need someone, that a girl or money, but other things happen in other ways, right? So I'm assuming you pay it forward a lot anyway right now, but continue to do so, right? Don't let anyone stamp out your good nature because they can't see your value, right? Continue being Samaritan. Don't let anyone squash your light. I hope that makes sense, Secret. Let me know. Let me scroll back down here to Joya. Awesome, awesome. What do I need to keep in mind about terminating the lease? Okay, let's find out. Oh, Secret, if you want to know more about that deck, it's the archetype cards. They're literally just called archetype cards. Okay. Joya and the lease. Termination. Okay. Okay, Joya, you got 2 cards. I think it's 2. It's 2. Adjustments are required. It's the first card I got. Adjustments are required. And a personal issue reaches resolution. So there will be a resolution, right? And that's a full moon in Cancer. How interesting. Adjustments are required. So not knowing much about the lease, there's usually some clauses in there about early termination, etc. And it's going to be a push. So this is what I'm going to say. I am not a lawyer, nor have I ever played one on TV. Okay, so after saying that, and so the advice I'm going to give you is to run that lease through an AI engine and ask questions, because explain the situation, run through the lease agreement, and see what adjustments are required, right? Sometimes it's going in knowing all the ways, all the different parts. Oh, how do I say this? I'm listening. Going in like a lawyer and knowing the answer before you ask the question. Yeah, knowing the answer before you ask the question. So go in, and just because I know in different cases that has been helpful to just run the agreement through, explain where you are, explain the situation, explain where the lease is, like governing law of where the lease is. Explain the situation, and you will have some tactics to use, right, to make the adjustments. Oh, you did! Yay! Okay, presenting in a couple hours. Yeah, sometimes it's knowing the law of the land. And I think you said you're in Portland. So the law governing the lease, because that's what makes the difference. Yeah, I'm so glad that you're presenting. I would love to know how that ends up going. but I do feel it will come out in your favor. You're not going to have to deal with it. So I'm excited. All right. Other questions? Other questions? Anyone else have a question? So just so I could say this, Joya, I use the Moonology deck. I use the Moonology deck. So other questions? Because if not, then I'm going to draw one final card. Actually, I feel like drawing from here. Okay. There's no other questions. I'm going to draw one final card. Oh, okay. I'll give you a sec to type. I'll go ahead and draw this card while you're typing. Jinx. Okay. Type faster. Not kidding. All right. So this card is just another card for the collective. And kind of popped out. So I think that's our card. One popped out. So that's usually it. Message from afar. Message from afar. So be listening. There's still more codes coming in. And it also could be a physical message from somewhere far from where you are. But really, I'm getting a sense of we're getting more downloads. It's not going to be, no, don't be not lie. For some of us, it's going to be fast and furious. And it's going to feel like a freight train. For most of us, it will be gentle. But there's a percentage of folks watching this video where it's going to feel like a freight train again. We're just going to get hit with download after download after download. You're going to literally feel the energy that's just coming in. When I say coming in, I don't just mean for coming in like down from the sky, which yes, some of it does. When I say coming in, it's also coming in up from the earth. Like you will feel the not like an earthquake, but what I call like the shimmers coming up from the earth. Just trying to like bring back some lost knowledge that we had. All right. Hope that was helpful. Jinx, I know that my book will release this summer. Yes, it will. I hope so. But what month should I aim for? And date? Boy, you're being really specific. Because I want to start sharing a date on social media, but I don't know when. A date gives you a deadline, right? So if the book is not done, it's going to make you get done. So whatever date you pick, I want to put this back in the right place. Whatever date you pick, keep that in mind, right? I'm happy to do some work around dates though, right? Okay, why am I getting that vibe? Okay. I thought I was going to do this, but I got told to do the Moonology deck. So I hope that this is going to be helpful. I never thought of using this when it came to dates, right? So the question is about the book release. Please start sharing on social. Okay. I'm down for that. Let's look at book release dates. There's a lot going on with the North Node right now. So step out of your comfort zone, North Node. So I'm looking at this two ways, Jinx. How comfortable are you about sharing your book? And what would feel like, I don't know if I could do that. It's a date, right? Step out of your comfort zone. Don't take the shortest period of time. Also, there's a lot going on right now astrologically with the North Node, and I don't have all that information in front of me, nor do I memorize. But you're going to want to check what's going on with the North Node. I'm trying to think, was it in retrograde? I'll have to look at the North Node, see if it's going retrograde or not, and then when it's going to go back into forward motion. something about, so check out North Node, where it is your chart, what the North Node's doing right now, where it's transiting, and how it's moving. That's going to, whatever it is, pick the shortest date and the one that's going to really make you step out of your comfort zone. Okay. Secret. Let's see. It's interesting because I like helping people. I do it all the time for game, but because I know that I need help sometimes. I wish someone like me would, I could turn to. Yes, you do it because it's the right thing to do, because you actually can help. Because at some point someone helped you. So true. Check the moon cycles to help pick a date. Just a thought. Yes, Joya, exactly. Look at those cycles. It's going to help you so much. And you can run some charts. I have some charts that I ran before, looking at how everything's transiting to make some other moves of my own. It's like, this is why I always say there is cosmic by it from one degree or another. We could go against the cosmic energy because we have free will. There's nothing wrong with that. I prefer to move with the cosmic energy. Typically have an easier time of it, of whatever it is I'm doing. But yeah, I can go against it. I know it might be harder, right? Or it might not turn out the way I wanted. There might be more side quests that I must go on to get to my goal, but you'll still get there. The cosmic energy is the cosmic energy. It's not there to hurt you, but it can definitely help. So I think looking at moon cycles to pick a day is also a good idea. But whatever, you've got to get out of your comfort zone. All right. Other questions? I hope you were typing if you had other questions, because I need to know if you have other questions. All right. So before we, thanks so much for coming. Make sure that you are subscribed and click the bell for notifications, like all of them, so you know when I go live and can get here early, right? I see people popping out. You can get here early. So make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you also like the video that goes ahead. If you need to talk some of this stuff out, book a Cosmic Consultation. The link is in the description below. And if you're moving toward, I'm going to do my own thing, because that's what's popping up for you right now, make sure to also grab, should also be, make sure you grab that one. It's going to help a lot. I have another audio in there that you'll be able to listen to whenever. All right, secret. Leaps of faith, getting out of your comfort zone and do something even if it scares you. Yes, yes, and yes. There's a reason it keeps popping up. Like, you also chose card number 3 with escape. There's a reason this all keeps popping up. I love you guys so much. Peace, joy, love. To you. See you next time.